It's the crop over season in Barbados, a celebration of our history, our music, and our culture. But this is also the time of year where the consumption of alcohol locally increases. In this episode of In the Know, we hear from the National Council on Substance Abuse about the use of alcohol and drugs this crop over season, concerns about the use of methamphetamine, and the importance of guarding your drinks at events. We'll also hear from Mount Gay on new initiatives they've rolled out to ensure you have a designated driver. I'm Krystal Hoyte, and this is In the Know. Mr. Bickham, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me on your show.
We're in the season of crop over, lots of parties, lots of music, lots of alcohol. What is the message that the National Council on Substance Abuse is trying to get out this crop over?
This is a festive period. We know persons will be a spike in the use of especially alcohol and illegal substances. So therefore, it's important for us to get factual information to them about the harms associated with the use of alcohol and illegal substances, and how to do it, if they have to do it, how to do it responsibly. I know we don't like to use the word responsible consumption of alcohol as a drug demand reduction organization. However, it's important for us to share factual information. Where we encourage persons, one, if you do have to drink, remain hydrated at all times, drink plenty of water, eat meals. You must eat. This in itself would obviously delay the effects of alcohol consumption. I would also encourage persons not to binge drink. Binge drinking 4 alcoholic beverages for females in a half hour and 5 alcoholic beverages for a male in a half hour. But I must say, alcohol affects everyone differently, and it's based on, one, your ethnicity, your gender, your weight, your height, and basically your metabolism. So I may be able to drink 1 beer and do not feel the effects of feeling intoxicated. However, a person of similar size and weight may be feeling intoxicated by 1 beer. So again, person must be aware of what you're drinking, what is a standard drink, for instance. And a standard drink is basically, I can say 5 ounces of alcohol. This is a standard beer. A regular beer is a standard drink, and person must be cognizant of this.
Of course, Barbados is the birthplace of rum, and culturally, we see the promotion of drinking in many of our soca songs. But that doesn't change the fact that there are Barbadians who struggle with alcohol abuse.
Yes, we're still seeing a high number of persons reporting to our treatment centers across the island, namely the Psychiatric Hospital Drug Unit, CASA, which is Center for Alternative to Addiction, Substance Abuse Foundation, better known as SAF, and the NCSA for treatment as it relates to alcohol. I can say over the years, we have been seeing 4 to every 10 persons who report to psychiatric hospital for treatment are reported for alcohol treatment. As it relates to the CASA, 2 out of every 10, the NCSA, 2 out of every 10, and 3 out of every 10 for CASA. So it's important for us to get that message across that persons are having challenges with using alcohol.
But it's not just alcohol, is it?
No, it's not. We are still seeing high numbers of persons reporting to treatment centers for the traditional substances, marijuana, crack cocaine, and powdered cocaine.
A few months ago, back in March, it was reported that meth, the highly addictive stimulant that affects the body's central nervous system, was here in Barbados. How has the NCSA responded?
We put a number of systems in place to combat the discovery of meth on island, starting with the alert, which came out of our early warning system. This is a mechanism that was designed to share information on the seizure and discovery of new psychoactive substances entering the island and new ways of using old substances. And meth was a big discovery for the early warning system. So we saw it fit using our minister, the Honorable Wilfred Evans, to share this message to the public and let persons know the harms and dangers associated with the using of the meth and the discovery of meth on island. And then we started with some training with some first responders on island on the handling, the identification of methamphetamine. First, let me say methamphetamine is an odorless, tasteless substance. It's highly addictive. So it's important for us at the NCSA to share this information with the public. It's very difficult to identify methamphetamine. It comes in crystalline form or powder form. And the discovery on island actually were pills of different colors, shapes, and sizes. And this is a concern for us at the NCSA. One, how to police our borders as it relates to the seizures of methamphetamine, because we can only say it confirms methamphetamine with the assistance of our forensic science center. And the center is key to the early warning system. I know locally we don't collect data on death and substance use. We don't link to them together. And that's a cause for concern, and that's a separate story all by itself. But in the interim, I will ask parents especially to be mindful of what their children are using. Pay attention to their bags, their frames, any pills they're using, especially pills. Persons tend to mask methamphetamine pills as fun pills. You will see pink, purple, green, to attract the younger demographic with smiley faces, for instance, cartoon characters, clowns, etc. And we tend to lump everything locally as a molly. As really truly some persons are using methamphetamine and don't even know. And that is a concern for us at the NCSA. I must ask persons if you see any suspicious pills around your home, especially in the care and custody of your children, seize these pills. You can feel free to bring it in the NCSA or take it to the nearest police station so we can actually have these pills tested at the Government Forensic Science Center. It's important. We are trying to have a handle on this particular substance. To be honest, I don't want the horse to bolt before we close the gate. Let me say that persons tend to binge use methamphetamine because your first contact or use of methamphetamine, you get a rush. It releases high dopamines in the brain, and you want to get back there. You want that feeling again, so then you start to use more and more in a short period of time to get back that high, and that in itself is very, very risky. Persons who use meth may experience rapid heart rate increase tremendously. Some persons experience chills. Some persons lost teeth. We call it meth mouth. Where persons' teeth fall out. You see persons sweating profusely. They're hyper. They experience insomnia. Blood pressure is rising, and it's a sense of euphoria. And it's easy then now, knowing this is the festive period, that persons may use meth, not knowing it's meth, because everything, anecdotally, we are saying persons calling pills or mollies and things like that they're using around the streets, in the party houses, etc. And it may be methamphetamine, and it's highly, highly dangerous, especially at this time. And I will encourage Barbadians, especially the younger demographic, to be careful what you're using. Don't leave your drinks unattended. Don't leave your water unattended. If you have to, for any reason, leave your drink unattended, discard of it immediately.
How important is that?
It's very important, especially for the female population. There have been anecdotal reports that persons have been drugged at various clubs across the island, and this had been reported several years ago. And now we are hearing more instances of persons being drugged, both locally and regionally. We are seeing it in from our regional counterparts, that persons are reporting being obviously attending various parties and then waking up the next morning in an apartment. I'm sure that everyone is aware that a few months ago there was a female on the streets of Barbados, obviously nude, and there were reports that she was on something after leaving the club. So it's important for us at the NCSA to share this information.
You're out partying with a group of friends. What are the things you should be looking out for?
Customarily, especially around this time, we tend to go partying with groups, large groups. And I would encourage persons, if you do have to party and do have to consume alcohol, you do it in groups. Go in numbers, especially females. It's important for you to do this. Your friends should look out for one, drowsiness in the eyes, slurred speech, persons being unstable. In Bajan parlance, what we call stumbling. It's important for us to recognize these things. Changing colors of your drink. I know most parties, houses are very dark, but it's important to pay attention to who's serving the drinks, who are around your drink, suspicious characters in the party who may be actually following you. You look around, you recognize you're saying the same person in the vicinity of you, and you don't really know them. You pay attention to that person. You pay attention to who's serving your drinks. Have conversation with your friend. Don't let your friend leave the party with strangers. That's important as well. And be your neighbor's keeper is important.
When should you be seeking medical attention?
It will encourage persons to seek medical attention when you see your friend, obviously, what we call having serious effects, serious effects to substance use, such as one, laying on the ground, slur speech. Sometimes your friends are delusional or hallucinating as a result of high uses of substances, and you should contact the nearest hospital and the Barbados Police Service. It's important. Contact a medical facility. Seek help for your friend. It's important to report any suspicious substance, any suspicious activity to the Barbados Police Service and to the National Council on Substance Abuse. As I mentioned earlier in this conversation, that we have what we call an early warning system. We track new substances and new ways of using old substances. And let me explain what I mean by new ways of using old substances. One, I know that every season there's a new alcoholic drink or alcoholic mixture that come around. I remember a few months ago, persons were mixing tonic wine with various alcoholic beverages. You mixing energy drinks with alcoholic beverages. This is very, very dangerous. It's like mixing what we call alcohol as a depressant. Something that slows down your metabolism, slows down your heart rate. Mixing with an energy drink, which is a stimulant. So it confuses the brain, confuses the heart. So you may feel you're not intoxicated because of the stimulant that is in your body, but really truly you're intoxicated. And there's international research that shows a positive correlation between drunk driving from persons using alcohol and stimulants and causing several accidents, deaths across, especially in North America. And I know it's a popular thing here to mix alcohol with energy drinks. So I would try to encourage persons to desist from mixing alcohol with energy drinks.
Is the NCSA also concerned about underage drinking?
Yes, we are. We are very concerned with underage drinking. Our last report with the secondary school population with persons between the ages of 13 and 16 in our public secondary schools and private secondary schools indicated there was a rise in young persons who have been reported to be drinking alcohol in the last month. It was a prevalent study, and girls especially. We actually saw a 50% rise in young girls reporting using alcohol in a period for over 1 year, and that was concerning for us at the time. And it still remains a major concern for us at the council. There's anecdotal information that more and more young people are using alcohol publicly. And we will ask the persons, especially all of our surveys recently have been showing persons receive substances, one, from the home, from siblings, including parents, and from friends. And we will constantly give the message or send a message to parents especially to be mindful of who your children hang with, what they're using, where they go to socialize is important, and give them the facts about the harms and dangers associated with using any substance, not only alcohol.
And finally, what are the resources available to help those struggling with substance abuse of any kind?
The NCSA is here to help persons who are struggling with any substance abuse matter. As I said earlier, we're the authority in Barbados for drug demand reduction. There's also the drug rehabilitation unit at our psychiatric hospital. However, I know there's a stigma attached to actually visiting that facility. But I would encourage persons it is a facility there to help. It's free. It's free of charge. The NCSA is free as well. You can feel free to contact us at 535-6272. That is 535-6272. And if we can't help you, we will direct you to a facility, a center that can assist you. Our residential center, the only residential center in Barbados, is the Substance Abuse Foundation, Verdant House, or Marina House for the females.
Mr. Wickham, thanks for making the time.
Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much.
Coming up, we're heading to Mountgate to hear about their initiatives promoting responsible consumption this crop over season. Stay with us. Shanice, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, a number of events are sponsored by Mount Gay, and drinking rum at parties feels like Barbadian culture. What is Mount Gay's stance as a company on excessive drinking?
So being one of the leading producers and distributors of alcohol in Barbados, we've always been very vocal about responsible consumption. We have three main messages that we communicate to the general public, which are know your limit, everything in moderation, and none for the road. To amplify this message, we partnered with the NCSA to roll out a series of radio programs giving the public general tips about responsible consumption, what is a standard drink, how persons can plan to go to party, and also how important it is to have a designated driver. This year, we have stepped it up a notch. So we've partnered with Pickup Barbados, which is an app-based taxi service that has over 200 registered drivers on board. We have rolled out a series of signage in the rum shops, restaurants, and bars to give persons easy access to this app. So you can scan the QR code and it's going to take you directly to the Mount Gay landing page, or you can download it from Google Play or the App Store. Via the Know Your Limit radio program with the NCSA, we had the opportunity to educate persons. Now with this partnership with Pickup Barbados, we are providing a solution for partygoers to have a designated driver, especially during the crop over season. So whether you're a single woman, a group of friends going out to a party, or a tourist that doesn't know his or her way around the island, this service is for you.
Know your limits and have a designated driver. Shanice, thank you for making me time.
Thank you, Krystal.
And thank you for joining me. Wishing you a safe crop over.